Real Estate Insider, where America goes for funding. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in, watching the show and the channel. We've been actively lending in America for the last 2 decades. So, and we do nationwide commercial residential finance. So, we're here to do our live show every week that we do it, to educate you guys, give you the information, the knowledge, so you have the information for lending, for credit, for real estate. So, and you can ask any questions that you want. That's why we're here to answer your questions. Um, we started the show. Oh, you can see my little cat. If you see a little thing crawling in the back, that's my little cat that I'm babysitting. A little white Persian cat that's in the background. You can see it running around. You might see some movement in the background. But anyway, yeah. So, hey, Anthony. Good evening. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all watching the show and the channel. Um, so, we're here. We started this in 2015. The show, we've been lending since 2005. Let me just adjust this. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. If the camera moves around a little bit, don't get upset. All right, cool. We've been actively lending in America since 2005, and we're here as your nationwide commercial residential lender to give you the information, the knowledge, the power, to get deals done, to make it happen. We do, we talk about credit, real estate, loan products, investments, fix and flip, investor DSCR cash flow loans, hard money loans, commercial loans, multifamily investing. We've been actively lending in America for the last 2 decades. So we want to get you that information. We also do obviously primary residence, conventional, standard lending, FHA, VA, USDA, conventional. Um, so anyway, appreciate you guys for reaching out, tuning in. If we can do anything to help you, let us know. You can call or text our office, 832-431-6331. Anthony, what type of profile financial credit do you require from newbies? So Anthony, that's a good question. The question is though, what are you looking to do? Because that's going to determine what the requirements are. So it depends on what you're looking to do. Um, because every product there's different requirements for every product. So different interest rates, different credit requirements, different terms, different closing costs. So it just depends on what you're looking to do. If that makes any sense. So anyway, you can go to our web. I'm a wholesaler moving into building and rehabbing. Oh, it's SFR multifamily. Yeah. Hey, motivational. What's up? Thanks for all the great info. I do have a W-2 along with side business. Is it possible to get a mortgage or both? Okay, I'll answer your question too. Motivational. I like that. I like that name too. Um, all right, so let's talk about the first option thing. So if you're looking to do fix and flip investment, whether it's single family or multifamily, and we do a lot of these for investors, I'm going to answer that question for you, motivational. So, on the investor, the fix and flip for single family and multifamily, ideally you have to have a 650 or higher credit score. If you're doing your first deal, you can't document or show proof that you've done a deal before. You have to put at least 20% down of your own money. So the way it works is this is kind of go through it. If you're buying a $300,000 property and you need 100,000 for rehab, ideally they don't want the rehab to be more than 30% of the purchase price. Okay. That means that if the purchase price is 300,000, They really don't want the rehab to be more than how much? 90,000 or 30% of the purchase price. Okay. Now that rehab gets added to the purchase price. So the total in this example would be 390,000. If you're a first time investor, you have to put 20% down. If you're a seasoned investor, you have to put 10% down. And this is a no doc loan. It doesn't report to your personal credit. You close in your EIN, you close in your LLC. And it gives you the money for the purchase and the rehabilitation of the property. So, so basically, the way that it works is you're going to buy the property, close in your LLC. Takes a couple weeks to close, and then now that you've taken title to the property, we're going to do a draw schedule for the rehab. So that 90,000 is going to be released in phases, with subject to inspections while you're rehabbing the property. Okay. And then after that, you can sell the property. Usually, you can build in payments, so you don't have to make any payments during the rehab. You can usually add in 3 to 6 months of payments as well. Now, these loans are usually, like I said, you put 10 to 20% down based on your experience and your credit. Interest rates start at 11 to 12%. The closing costs are usually 3 to 4%. Um, and they normally, they'll lend up to, that's the loan to cost. It's called LTC. And the loan to value, they don't really want you to go over 75% of the loan to value of the ARV. So they appraise the property based on how much it's going to be worth after you do the improvement. So when they go to send the appraiser, they do something called an as is appraisal and then an after repair value, or as completed. So there's two valuations. And what we're really looking at is a combination of both the as is and the as completed to determine how we're going to make that loan to you. So really, if your cost basis is 390,000, you should have at least 25% or greater valuation or equity into the property. So that property should be appraising for, at least 600,000 or more to give you protective equity in the transaction. That's called protective equity. So that's how it works. And you can do that on single family, you can do it on multifamily, you know, and you can just keep going and going. There are no doc loans, no tax returns needed, no W 2s, no pay stubs. Experience. Now, the other part that they want to see is that you have at least 3 to 6 months of reserves in the bank. So reserves are the mortgage payments. You can't do this deal if you don't have any money in the bank account. That just doesn't work. Or if you got really bad credit, you can have fair credit, like 650 or higher. But if you got like 500 credit, this is not going to work. Or if you don't have any money, the lenders are not going to want to make a loan. You have to have at least 3 to 6 months of mortgage payments in the bank. You have to show you have experience, okay, or partner with someone that has experience. So that's that. Uh, so I hope that answers your questions. Going back to what motivational mindset was asking. So yes, a lot of people today have multiple jobs. That's just how it is. I mean, the cost of everything has gotten out of control. So people got to do what they got to do to make it happen, put food on the table. So a lot of people have two jobs. So yes, you can use 1099s and W-2s or side gigs or whatever you got to qualify for the loan. Thank you, Anthony. Now, depending on the product that you're doing, will determine what documentation that you're going to need. This is why a lot of private lending has emerged because standard loans they're real finicky and rigid on what type of documentation can be produced to qualify. So basically, what I'm getting at is, let's just say I don't know what you do for a living, but let's just say that you have a W-2 job where you're a manager at Microsoft, okay? But then you also drive Uber at night. Okay. Now the W-2 is obviously pretty straightforward. You get pay stubs, W-2s. No one's gonna say anything about that. The Uber income, you know, depending on how you file that, how you claim that, you could do a few different things. You can obviously use your tax returns. You can obviously use your tax returns, or um, you can use bank statements, or you can use your pay stubs and your 1099 to qualify. And then depending on the loan that you're doing, um, that will determine what documentation that you're going to need. This is a Cuban Partagas. You guys can see that. I don't know if the camera. It's just a. It's called a shorty. I'm gonna go short. Partagas short. Um, that's always a good little cigar. Yeah, Partagas is really good. Now there's two different types of Partagas. Obviously, there's the American version, and then there's the Cuban version. Obviously, I prefer the Cuban version. Much better quality if you can get it. I will say though that I think that Dominican, Nicaraguan, they've come a long way. Um, and some cigar brands are not that far off from Cuban today. But anyway, so yeah, going back to a motivational question. So if you do a non-QM loan, you can use bank statements to qualify, or 1099 with the W-2. But if you do a conventional loan, you're going to have taxes for the self-employed income. In that example, the Uber income, you'd have to have taxes to qualify with, because you have the self-employed piece. If you were just W-2'd, then you could get the loan just with your pay stubs and your W-2. You don't need taxes. Okay, if you have a W-2 only position, then you don't need tax returns at all to get a loan. Okay, with us now, other companies have different requirements. I'm talking about our company because I can't speak of other companies and what they do. Our company, seems to be the most flexible when it comes to requirements for lending. So, so I don't know if that answers your question. Now, these products, depending on the product that you do, also will determine the interest rate and the down payment and the term. If you're doing a non-QM or private mortgage, you have to have at least a 680 or higher credit score with 10% down. If you're doing a standard loan, conventional FHA, you could get zero down, but you need full documentation. You can't use bank statements or 1099s to qualify. So, you know, you just got to look at what you're trying to do. Any of these programs, you can buy a brand new home or an existing home too, by the way. So, and the interest rates, they vary on the product too. Non-QM loans, the rates are going to be about a point higher, but they have no PMI. So, like if you're buying a $500,000 house and you use bank statements to qualify, and you put 10% down, the rate may be starting at 7.5%. Okay, but if you do a conventional loan, the rate may be 6.5%. But if you put 10% down, you're going to have to pay mortgage insurance. So when you add the mortgage insurance in there, that's 0.5%. There's only really 0.5% difference, but you need taxes and W-2s and pay stubs. So in the end, um, you know, we have. So I'm not leaning towards any product for you. It's just based on what your situation is and what you can do. We don't have a preference on what program that we do for you. Okay, like I'm not going to push one over the other. It's just based on what's going to work for you. I don't know what's going on with your life and your world and your situation, but our job is really to figure out what we can do. How can we help you to get it done? What programs can we do? And that's what we want to offer is the widest buffet of product to help you to get it done to make it happen. And that's really our mission of why we're here is we want to figure out okay what programs can we do, what can we offer, and how can we get you pre-approved. You know, the other thing too is if you're married, your spouse may have a type of I've seen this a lot where one spouse is W-2'd and one spouse is self-employed. You can mix those together. So one spouse can be on bank statements, one spouse can be on pay stubs. I see that a lot too. So you can definitely, you can do that as well. So just depending on your situation. So, but yeah, yeah. Either way, we want to have those products to help you guys out. Like we do, super jumbo, ultra luxury. We do mobile home, manufactured home. You know, people buying houses in Miami for 10 million, or someone buying a mobile home for 200,000. In Midland, Texas. I mean, we have that wide product offering to help people out. And depending on the way your situation, you'll work with a different lender in our company based on the product that you're trying to do because we really have a lot of different programs to help people out. Like we go down to a 500 credit score for loans for FHA and VA. We also do um, the other thing that we do really good is we do ground up construction loans. If you're trying to build your house from the ground up, we have the FHA ground up construction, VA ground up construction, USDA conventional, all these different loan programs to help you to get it done. So we want to be, your lender. The only thing that we really don't do is raw land loans. So if you're trying to do a raw land loan, we really don't have any strong competitive programs for that. Um, but anyway, yeah, I appreciate all of you guys watching the show on the channel. We work really hard to educate you, empower you, get you the knowledge and the information to get it done. So if we can do anything for you to help you to get the funding, don't be a stranger. Call or text our office 832-431-6331. It's where America goes for funding, guys. You can check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, our website. Reach out. Don't be a stranger. If we can help you, we'll open. We do. Yeah, Anthony, we do ground up commercial loans for hotels, restaurants, multifamily, owner occupied commercial buildings. Oh, thank you, Cecilia. Appreciate you. We do all different types of products. That's why we're here. So whatever we can do to get you the funding, the product, or whatever. Um, we have a lot of different programs to help you guys out there. So, um, like I said, the only thing that we really don't do uh, uh, is raw land loans. We don't do long-term financing on raw land, but we do everything else. So if you're trying to buy a house or buy land that meticulous detail, yes, we can refinance commercial SBA. Yeah, we do SBA, the 504 and the 7A program. So we do both of those. Oh, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the channel. There's there's thousands of videos on there. Um, so there's a bunch of stuff. You just go in the YouTube search bar. You could type in, whatever you're looking for, and it'll probably pull up. You know, get you the information that you need to help you. And that's really why we built, our channel. You're welcome, meticulous detail. That's a good name too. I like that. A lot of people don't look at the details. And always in any type of environment, you need someone that has big picture vision and details too. You need them both, really. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, if we can help you guys out, let us know. Don't be a stranger. Reach out to us if we can help you with any type of financing packages. Call, text us, email, whatever. 832-431-6331. Happy to help you guys out. Check us out on our website, official Angelo Christian. Our YouTube, you guys know that. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. And if you want to talk about deals, reach out to me. 832-431-6331. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in tonight. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend with your families. We'll be back in next week. Don't be a stranger. Reach out. Take care.